Thick, creamy, and filled with sweetness, condensed milk is the secret weapon in your favorite desserts. But this isn't just any milk, it's milk that's been transformed. You ever wondered how a simple liquid from a moo cow turns into the rich golden treat that lasts for months? Well, let's go on the inside tour and see how moo milk turns into magic powder. Naturally, it all starts on the farm, but not just any farm. Modern dairy farms with rows of well-fed, carefully cared-for cows. These animals aren't just milk machines, they're treated like VIPs and for good reason. Healthy, happy cows make better milk. Now, back in the day, farmers milked cows by hand. It was slow, it was tiring, and it was messy, but things have changed. Today, high-tech machines do most of the work, and they're surprisingly gentle. Soft suction cups attached to each cow's udder, mimicking the feel of a calf. In just a few minutes, the milk flows through tubes into cooling tanks, clean and untouched. But before any of that, hygiene is key. The cow's teats are cleaned and checked, and the machines are washed before every use. No shortcuts here, because clean milk means safe milk. And with better nutrition, regular checkups, and round-the-clock care, each cow can produce over 30 liters a day. That's a whole lot of milk, ready for the next step in its journey. Once the moo juice is collected, there's no time to waste. It's quickly cooled down to just a few degrees above freezing. And that's because cold milk stays fresh, and freshness is everything. From there, it's pumped into giant insulated tankers, huge metal trucks built to keep the milk cold and clean during the ride. These tankers hit the road fast, heading straight for the factory. Most of the milk arrives within hours of leaving the farm, and when it gets there, the real checks begin. Before a single drop is accepted, the milk goes through a series of tests: fat levels, temperature, any signs of bacteria or contamination. The lab team doesn't miss anything. If a sample doesn't meet the standards of a factory, eligibility is denied. We're not talking a small number of liters. These factories process hundreds of thousands of liters in a day. It's almost continuous fresh milk in machine-like motion. Alright, now that the milk's at the factory and the tests are complete, the milk is ready to be processed. Inside the factory, the transformation begins. First step, separation. The milk might look smooth and uniform, but it's actually a mix of cream and skim. And now it's time to split them apart. Huge machines called centrifugal separators take over. Just imagine a giant spinning cone that twirls thousands of times per minute. Now, before anything else happens, the milk has to be made safe. That's where pasteurization comes in. It's a quick blast of heat, just hot enough to kill off harmful bacteria, but not so hot that it damages the flavor. The milk is first cooled, then shot through a special system that heats it up to the perfect temperature, just above 70 degrees Celsius. Next up, sugar gets added to the milk, but not just to make it taste good. Sugar acts like a natural preservative, helping the milk last for months without spoiling. The sugar has to dissolve completely, so the milk is gently heated again, just enough to help the sugar blend in smoothly. Big mixers keep everything moving until the texture is just right. Thick, silky, and perfectly sweet. Alright, now that the milk is sweet and safe, it's time to thicken things up. To turn sweet milk into condensed milk, most of the water's gotta go. That's where evaporation comes in. The milk flows into large steel units called evaporators, massive machines built to pull the water out without burning the milk. They use low-pressure steam, which means the milk can be heated at a lower temperature. As the water slowly disappears, the milk starts to thicken. It turns from a thin, runny liquid into something richer, creamier, and much more familiar. This is the heart of the process, the moment where milk starts to look like condensed milk. And it's almost ready to go. Before it gets packed, there's one final step to lock in that smooth, creamy feel: homogenization. This part is not just about looks, it's about texture, taste, and shelf life. Without it, the fat in the milk would rise to the top and separate over time. That's not something you want when you open up a can. So how exactly does this process work? The condensed milk is pumped through high-pressure nozzles, sometimes at pressure as high as 2,000 psi. These nozzles break down fat globules into tiny uniform particles. Once they're that small, they can't clump back up together. The milk becomes evenly blended with a texture that stays consistent for months. You would notice the difference instantly. Unhomogenized milk can feel lumpy or oily. Homogenized condensed feels smooth, velvety, and perfectly pourable. Exactly what you want for desserts, drinks, or spooning straight from the can. With perfect texture, it's finally time to get this golden goodness into cans. But before a single drop goes in, the containers go through a deep sterilization process. They're washed, steamed, and inspected to make sure they're completely free of germs. Safety always comes first. Next, the milk flows into automated filling lines. These machines are fast and precise, pouring the exact same amount into each can. No spills, no mess, no waste. Once filled, the cans are sealed airtight. This step is crucial. It locks out bacteria and keeps the product fresh for months even without refrigeration. From farm and moo-moo cows all the way to can, nothing touches the milk by hand. It's a clean, high-speed process built to deliver quality every time. But there's still one last safeguard before it ships out. Before the cans leave the factory, there's one final step to make sure the product is safe and shelf-stable. It's called thermal sterilization. The sealed cans are loaded into large machines known as autoclaves, giant pressure cookers, and away. Inside, they're hit with high-pressure steam that reaches deep into every can, killing off any last trace of bacteria. This process doesn't change the taste or texture. It just makes sure the condensed milk stays fresh for the long haul. And thanks to this final step, a can of condensed milk can sit on a shelf for months, even years, without spoiling. And just like that, what started as fresh milk on a farm becomes a thick, sweet treat you find on store shelves. And that is how we get condensed milk. From a splash of farm-fresh milk to a pantry staple loved worldwide, condensed milk is more than just milk. It's dessert magic, coffee's best friend, and the secret behind countless recipes across the globe. So make sure you hit like, subscribe for more behind-the-scenes food journeys, and share your thoughts in the comments section down below.